Guys, you aren't going to fucking believe this. Spirit Halloween just dropped a brand new teaser on their YouTube channel.
Donald, holy shit, the hype is real. I haven't been this excited since the Lowe's lineup dropped just a few weeks ago. Though honestly, I suspect Lowe's and Home Depot will be dominating the Halloween retail scene this year. Spirit hasn't really shown much innovation since 2021 with Grimm and Mr. Dark.
You don't sound so enthusiastic, Obama. What's the fucking matter? We have been talking about this moment for weeks.
I assure you, Donald, I am just as excited as the rest of us. I was actually up all night bothering factory workers in China to try to get my hands on some sweet leaks.
Man, oh man, I really hope they release more young versions of classic characters this year. Young Crouchy was the freshest take on a clown since Pennywise. Young Crouchy's build quality and character design was simply immaculate.
Joe, of course your favorite clown has to be the fucking child. Do you hear yourself when you talk, Sleepy Joe? Young Crouchy was the biggest pile of dog shit ever to touch the face of the earth.
Hate to say it, Biden, that is the most shit take I have ever heard. Young Crouchy was literally created to pander to the children on YouTube who make 3 a.m. videos wearing Spirit Halloween clown costumes.
Fuck it, man, let's put the video on.
I think that is something we can all agree on. Okay, uncover the residents of Spirit Hallows. Here we go.
Oh, holy shit, what the fuck? Whoa, bro,
Holy shit, I think I'm gonna poop my pants again. Wow, oh my god. It's the killer clown from outer fucking space.
Oh my goodness, wow, incredible. Holy shit, boys, it's the Pretty Woman Leatherface.
Finally, Obama, your chance to be in the vicinity of a pretty woman.
Don't fucking talk about Michelle that way, Donald.
That Grave Watcher remake looks pretty nice.
I will say it's always refreshing to see a nice flashback.
Wow!
Holy shit, a flashback from 1997. I think I just pissed in my pants.
No fucking way that came out when I was a young boy.
Joe, you haven't been a young boy since the Great Depression, you dustbag.
Young Crouchy.
You and young fucking Crouchy, that useless waste of a prop.
We can play hide and seek if you want to.
Oh my god!
Well, boys, looks like we've got a lot to unpack here. Let me just go to spirithalloween.com and share my screen so that we can take a closer look at this lineup together. Okay, first off, what are our opinions on the sitting scarecrow?
Old concept, new face, creepy, scary, nothing inherently wrong with the changes made, solid upgrade.
I will say, though, I really am going to miss the original sitting scarecrow design. It marks the end of a long-time classic.
It's undeniable the original sitting scarecrow design has been around a very long time. However, I would say that the changes make a drastic improvement to the prop. The remake sitting scarecrow is a maybe on my list. What do you two think?
I've already got the original sitting scarecrow, but this version is so much scarier. I think it would make for a great November 1st pickup, but I wouldn't go out of my way to get this.
I always like to think the terror in the original's face was left up to the imagination of what was underneath.
Boo, stupid metaphor bullshit. The original was a good design, but fuck, man. You gotta be more open to change and progress.
Okay, moving on and sticking with remakes, we have the creepy rising doll. Thoughts, boys?
Shit, prop. Absolute shit. The world is tired of this thing finding its way into every single lineup since 2015. The thin plastic face can't even hold its shape. If you bump it into a wall, you are done for.
I agree with Donald on this one. The creepy rising doll idea is tired out. And I'm not sure how much longer it can sustain itself in the market.
I think we are all in agreement on this one. Creepy rising doll is overused and fucking sucks. Next up, we've got Heckles the Clown. First clown of the season. What are we thinking? Personally, I'd say this is one of the better clowns of recent years. A lot of the modern clown props have a tendency to look cartoony or fake. But Heckles has an element of realism I just can't seem to pin.
Not to mention the fact that the shaping on this one isn't half bad. This is actually a decently executed clown animatronic. I'd say this one has earned a spot on my wish list this year.
I agree with the both of you. The face and shaping on this one are pretty impressive for modern standards. However, it really feels like a missed opportunity for an epic servo prop.
While I agree with Joe that a servo Heckles would be nothing short of outstanding, I think the simplicity works well on this piece. With the detail being the standout feature, I would say Heckles is pretty high up on my wish list. Amazing piece all around. Next up, we've got the Black Heart.
I really love the way the Reaper covers the victim's face. Giant animatronics holding smaller victim characters will never bore me, even if it is a pretty overused concept.
I think I'll need to see this one in person to fully develop my opinion. But based off the photos we see here, the Black Heart looks pretty well made. And I feel like it could be a really imposing piece in somebody's yard display.
Blackheart really does feel like a new take on the victim concept. Honestly, one of the cooler spirit releases in the past few years. The movement feels old yet new at the same time. I propose we buy 18 of these and put them all over the White House to scare the staff.
Yeah, man, that can be arranged.
I'm going to buy 1 million Black Hearts and build an army around Trump Tower.
Why the fuck would you do that?
So that I can have the best Black Heart collection in all the land, duh.
Case closed, Blackheart is fucking awesome. Next up, we've got the Grave Watcher remake.
I really feel like changing the audio on this one was a bad choice. It has nothing to do with the quality of the new soundtrack delivered. And more so the fact that taking away the original audio took away a pretty big amount of nostalgia that the original piece had, which seems to be one of its main marketing purposes.
Yeah, taking away Grave Watcher's original audio was the worst decision to make for this item. Nobody would have cared about it at all if it wasn't from 2013. It is literally just a generic 3-foot Pan-Asian Creations character.
As generic as Grave Watcher's module may be, I cannot help but appreciate the fact Spirit brought back a mold that has been out of commission for over a decade.
Yeah, despite the fact they fucked up the audio, I still think she'll be a really good seller. I would love to set one up in my living room or kitchen around Halloween time.
I think the Grave Watcher is pretty cool. Pretty tempted to snag one of these on opening day. Speaking of graves, we have the 3-foot Eternal Rest. This thing is actually pretty clever. It's always nice to see items with spinning heads. And this is an adaptation of that mechanism I haven't really seen before in professional or retail haunting. This is one of the more elegant and solid spirit designs I've seen in a long time. With perfect audio to go along with it.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Obama. Eternal Rest is one of the best-looking spirit Halloween pieces in recent history. It has become increasingly rare to come across classic designs like this nowadays, especially made of higher-end materials like seen here. I was going to scream if we had to sit through another fucking fabric tombstone.
I also really appreciate that they gave her a similar vibe to the animated tombstone from 2013, while still giving the item an original twist. I plan to add Eternal Rest to my collection this year. What do you boys think?
Yes.
Yes. All right, boys, what do we think of Lil Jack Carver?
Lil Jack Carver pisses me the fuck off because I'm sick and tired of every animatronic at Spirit being a tiny kid-sized prop, but it actually looks pretty sick. I don't know, man. It's giving me conflicting feelings.
Well, personally, Donnie, I think you should step away from your little prop prejudice for just a second to realize that Lil Jack Carver is pretty scary.
Yeah, man, both the pumpkin and zombie head sculpts are really well done, and for a price tag with the number 69 in it, it's going to be a must-get for me.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll admit Lil Jack Carver ain't bad. Maybe he could go alongside my sitting scarecrow.
Pumpkins represent the holiday at its core, and I think we should respect that. I will 100% be picking this guy up. We are almost down to the last row, gentlemen. Next up, we've got Poor George.
Stupid, fucking stupid. They wasted a perfect mech idea by pairing it with terrible shaping. Mid.
I actually think it's a nice change of pace to see a unique movement like this. I think I'll be adding this one to my collection.
Joe at it again with the fucking kid clowns. Bad prop, next.
I don't think Poor George is terrible, but I don't think he is great either. Moving on, we've got Dagger Mike.
Obama turned Joe's mic off for this one. He's just going to say he likes it because it's a little clown.
Donald, this is an open discussion about our honest opinions of the props presented. Dagger Mike seems to be a clown reskin of the Little Skelly Bones remake. From personal experience, I will say that those mechanisms can be a pain in the ass. But regardless, the scare is incredibly effective.
I know it's going to be shocking hearing this from me, but honestly, the color scheme really isn't doing it for me. Props today seem to always be too vibrant or too washed out.
Another clown, what a surprise. But this one is actually kind of badass because this is the 7.2-foot slim animatronic from Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I really appreciate that they gave mouth movement to Slim over here. The $400 price tag feels like a bit much. But since I'm rich as fuck, that don't matter. 10 out of 10.
I'm not the biggest fan of licensed props since they are hard to incorporate into the theme of a haunt, but they are always nice to display inside.
Joe, you may not be a sucker for license, but I most certainly am. I will have to pick this guy up as well as any other movie characters released. Only 2 more left on the website right now, and look, another licensed prop and arguably the best piece of the entire lineup. Boys, we've got the Crypt Keeper remake.
The Haunter community asked for old props to return, and Spirit decided to go all the way back to the beginning. Seeing a 1990s Gemmy life-size back on the market once again is truly a surreal sight to see.
Yeah, I will admit, I'm going to have to order this one. I'm pretty sure Spirit employees took the produced 1997 model showcased in the factory theme from 2021 and made a mold off it, which means a great amount of detail could be lost, but regardless, it is a big deal to see this one return.
Not to mention the addition of eye movement. The Crypt Keeper is online only and overpriced as hell, but a piece this old returning from the grave warrants an order. Last and certainly not least, we have 7.3-foot Deathstalker. I honestly think this one kind of looks like a shark, but that's just me.
Always love a good gothic sci-fi prop. Not much to say about this one for me, honestly. I am more of a clown collector.
For being $279, this guy really lacks in movement. The fog machine feature is neat, but considering the fog machine will most likely be sold separately, it doesn't mean much.
In conclusion, I would say this is a pretty solid lineup for today's standards. The flashbacks really stood out this year, and I would say it would be worthwhile for the three of us to attend Flagship this year.
100%. We will be at the Flagship opening for 2023. Boys, we need to get our hands on as many items as quickly as we can.
I'm definitely excited to add more props to my collection this year. But between Spirit, Lowe's, Home Depot, and Party City, my bank account may be in the negatives by November 1st.
Making yourself go broke is just a part of doing this hobby, Joe. It truly is a pleasure to see so many new releases this early into the summer. You boys have a great day.